Hello, everyone. Hello, traders. Welcome once again. This is Dr. MINDEYE speaking. It's weekend, and as always, let me quickly run through all of the trades we took this week. Just like last week, this is not a very good week for us. A typical good week for us is a week that we do at least 3 TPs. Anything less than 3 TPs is an average week, although still a profitable week and all of that. So, quickly, let me run through what we did last week. This might probably be a very quick one. As always, I will not be explaining much. I will just go over and show you the COT. So I will just go to the futures chart to show you what the data said last week. The market is all about three things: data, price, and time. If you master these three things, you should make money every week. Well, let me say every month you should make money. Let me not give you high hopes. Now, looking at the Euro USD, you already know how we do this. The last week net positions were 42k. You know how we get the net position. They increased it for this week, and the last week the percentage leverage fund is 20.47. This week it decreased. So even though their positions increased, you would notice the percentage is also increased. I said decrease. I wanted to talk about the net change, which is the delta. The net percentage LF also increased, just like their net position. But there is something which is very important in the delta, which is the difference between the buying power and the selling power. And you will notice last week they were 7.5% up, and this week they came down to 2.8%. So that's to tell you the percentage is decreasing even though the number of positions are increasing. So they are adding buys and closing out some sales. And to close sell, you definitely need to open buy. You know how the system works. So this is a momentum showing Euro USD is still bullish, but with the data showing here, you can see a reduction is happening. So in as much as we are looking to buy Euro USD in the long term, you should have in mind that sales will come into the market within the week. This whole move can even take a whole week. The sell might just happen a whole week, and the following week the buy would continue. So that was all. I didn't compare them to the other datas like the retail and commercials that I would usually want to compare them with to see what they are currently doing. So I just went over to, of course, there are other things I do with this futures chart, but let me just go over to show you the trades that we took because of time. I'll go straight to 15 minutes time frame now. Usually I want to use 5 minutes. So now we need to use price and time. If price is right, we already see data. If price is right and time is not right, there's a high chance the market will be ranging until the right time and it will shoot down. In other cases, if the time is right and it's not the right price, you will see it still moving until you get to the right price, which we usually refer to as zone in the Forex market, the price that the market is to move with. So we started off on Monday. On Monday, I sent a sell limit to my team. Unfortunately, it did not get triggered, and because I was in the chart, usually I do not send so much trades. So this was the sell limit, this red horizontal line here. The market did not get there, but I was on charts by the time the market was still playing around here. So this was a personal trade on Monday that I took. If you check my channel, which will be in the description, you will find it there for 1:4. This wasn't sent to my team. On Tuesday, I sent them this, and it got triggered for 1:4 too. So it was a sell day for us on Monday, sell day for us on Tuesday, and in as much as all of these sales are coming in, I was still having in mind that the market is bullish. So I was watching higher time frame zones in case the buy starts. And after this sale, this area tapped a higher time frame zone I have been expecting. And the next day became a buy day, fortunately for us. And that same day that was a buy day, the market flipped back to sell and I did not notice it. I set a buy limit here because the market was very slow as at this time. So I left to the gym. By the time I got back, I we have a strict rule on when to delete our order. Usually this order will be deleted by this time after doing one ratio. It will be deleted after doing this one ratio 1.25 because it has flipped and is no longer valid. It's selling will now come into the market. So I made the market somewhere here and I closed before it reversed. So this, although in our terminal where we send our signals, we counted it as a loss. So we would not have to, we don't want to shift blames at all because I did not inform them when to close the trade before then. So, and then that was Wednesday. We got a buy, but it did not go well. And from Thursday to Friday, we had so many missed trades. That's why I say it's not such a good week. Good week, and I will show you on USD Thursday, I had this area to sell and this area to sell, but I like buying from more discounted area and selling from more premium areas. So I said, okay, let's take the sell from here instead of here. So I ignored this area, which if you check my channel, definitely you will see the before. Market was still here when I marked these two areas and you will see it there. But I choose here over here. So the market now used the area I decided not to choose to reverse and I was very pained. This became a missed trade. And then coming to Friday, yesterday, I got two zones and I told them we have two zones. This is very risky and this is less risky. So we'll watch based on timing. So by the time this one got triggered, timing was right. Of course, the original entry is this top. So we would have sniped it from here. But based on the experience we had from Thursday that we missed the trade, I decided to give it much earlier entry. So it got triggered during the second timing window, and when the news was coming out, I quickly texted everyone to go break even. I think it did one ratio 1.6 or so, yeah. And I said go break even because this news will most likely push it up or so. Yeah, were those my exact words? But I remember saying they should go break even and all of that. And this was a second trade. So immediately the news came out, it hit us out break even, and the second trade got triggered. It did up to 1 ratio 2. I personally left at this point after 2.5. Why? Because based on our strict timing rule, we are not to be in a trade by this time. It's strictly day trading. We are not swing trading. So for swing trading, we definitely, like there was a trade we held for like 3 days. I will show you. So this one got triggered, did 1 ratio 2.5 and then reversed. I still later came into the trade here to this point before the market closed, which you will find in my channel. I'm even holding one to next week. It's break even already, so whatever the market do is fine. So this for Euro USD. Coming to USD CHF, where we had almost every trade on USD CHF was a missed trade. Almost every trade on USD CHF. Okay, let's go now. Monday, how did it start? This was a trade from last week Friday that we entered, and I told them to hold it till TP, and immediately it got to 1 ratio 3. I asked them to close, even though it went to final TP at 1 ratio 3.5. So we started it on Friday, we had it Monday, and finally we closed it on Tuesday. This very Tuesday, I wanted us to take a buy from here on USD CHF. There was something I learned recently. In fact, I started observing it from last week, and I'm currently working on a software on it, and it will even make spotting zones very much easier for me and my team. And I sent it to my developer already to look into it if we can make it a separate startup because it's going to blow up people's mind. But I won't give details yet because that's not why we are here. Now, that observation made me to know that USD will reverse from here, not here. But I sent here because I have to follow the current system we use strictly because that's what we make money with week in, week out. And unfortunately, it reversed from here. It didn't get here. So this was a missed trade for us. The afternoon session did not give very much opportunity. It didn't give much, even though this was the only one it gave, but it wasn't convincing enough, except on much lower time frame. And then that was this was Monday. We had no trade. Tuesday missed trade. Wednesday was a sell limit. But the moment the market got triggered, I told them to delete it. It was not going to hold. We deleted it at this point. It was not going to hold. So that was very little profit. So which is just normal. It's nothing. So and then it was buy day or through. Why did we sell here even though it was a buy day? That's what I told you. Also, that's why I told you from the beginning. I also do one or two things with futures chart, but let's, for the sake of time, let's ignore that. And then coming over to Thursday, we had a buy limit here too. We had two zones. This is for afternoon session. If you check my timing lines, this is for morning session. Unfortunately, none of them got triggered, and it continued buying. And then Friday, after analyzing Friday, I saw this line. I saw this one. I looked at both, and I know none of them will work. None of them will hold. The only one that will hold is this point. But then, looking at Euro USD and the current area it is sitting, it always goes the opposite direction with this guy. So Euro USD does not look like what we would just start buying immediately. So, and I told myself, even though the market wants to come to this dark line, this black line, it's not going to be immediately. And by the time it comes, I will not be on chart again. So there's no need to trade it. That's why I didn't send any trade for USD CHF. So you can see we only got, personally, I got two TPs on Euro USD. The team got one TP and one SL. That's plus 4R minus 1R. So we ended the week as a team with plus 3R. And I personally ended the week with plus 7R. So that's it for the week. It wasn't a bad week. It ended up profitable. Not every week is the same, but it's an average week for us and all of that. So that's it for now. I would see you again when I make another video, and hopefully I get a chance to really explain this timing to you and all of that. Once again, if you're interested in getting access to either the COT terminal indicator or the MINDEYE trading indicator that tells you the buyers, the liquidity and everything, you can always reach out. When you join the channel, there you can always send a text via the channel, and an admin would respond to you. An admin will attend to you. So that's all for now. See you when I make another video. Bye bye.